Attention, Bird Nation, get ready, because this call isn't for just anyone. It's for those who carry the weight of history on their shoulders and the fire of passion in their chest. It's for those who understand that in Philadelphia, football isn't just a game, it's religion, legacy, and identity. Hold on to that emotion, because what's coming will send chills down the spine of even those who survived the freezing winds of the old Veterans Stadium, fingers numb, but hearts blazing. Here, we cheer with our soul and feel every yard like it's the last breath of the universe. The battle cry is stuck in our throats, the anticipation hits harder than a conference championship tackle, and even though kickoff is still down the road, every heartbeat already sounds like the war drums of battle. It doesn't matter how many days are left on the calendar. The truth is, for an Eagles fan, the season never ends. We live this all year long. We wake up dreaming of big plays, fall asleep picturing pick sixes, and every beat of our heart pulses in rhythm with green and white. And behind the scenes, oh, my friend, what's happening in the nest is no small thing. There are big moves, rumors loud enough to shake the Liberty Bell, and decisions being crafted that could shift the entire course of the season. The chess match has begun, and Howie Roseman is moving pieces with the cold precision of a general and the boldness of a warrior. That's why I'm here, to bring you every detail, every hot scoop, every whisper echoing through the halls of the NovaCare complex. But before we dive in, do that sacred ritual only the real ones know. Hit that like button only if your heart's been bleeding green since the Buddy Ryan or Andy Reid days, or if you cried watching Foles raise that trophy in 2017. And if you feel that energy surging through your veins, drop your mark in the comments and let the world hear it. Go Birds! My heart bleeds green and white. Let's fly higher. Now, take a deep breath, strap on your helmet, tighten those gloves, because the first bombshell of the preseason is coming in hot. Come with me, because the sky is about to shake. Let's start with the heart and soul of the team, Jalen Hurts. Over the weekend, new details about his contract surfaced, and it paints a picture of not just a quarterback, but a leader with vision. After finishing runner-up in MVP voting and just short of a Super Bowl title, Hurts signed a contract that, at the time, made him the highest-paid player in NFL history. But here's where it gets really impressive. He didn't care about the glory or the headlines. According to his agent, Nicole Lynn, who, by the way, made history herself negotiating this deal, Hurts told her to handle it and not to bother him until it was done. No updates, no drama. His only concern? How are we going to keep the team together? This is the kind of mentality that separates Hurts from most franchise quarterbacks. He understood that big paydays could come at the cost of team depth, so he chose structure. His deal is built with option bonuses that ease the cap hit, freeing up cash for Howie Roseman and company to continue building a championship-caliber team around him. Hurts is only 27, and yet he's making decisions like a veteran who's been through a decade of playoff wars. He's locked in at $51 million per year, still top-tier money, but just outside the current top 10. Could he demand more? Absolutely. But he doesn't, and that's a huge reason why the Eagles are in a position to win now. Let's not forget what he said after the Super Bowl run. Money's nice, but championships are better. That one quote says it all. Just look at Dallas. Dak Prescott is commanding $60 million per year. And how's that working out? The Cowboys have become too dependent on him. The roster is top-heavy, and the results speak for themselves. Hurts, on the other hand, is giving Philly the flexibility to keep their elite core intact. A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, and now, Saquon Barkley. That's not just a high-powered offense. That's a unit built to explode, especially behind one of the best O-lines in football. Now, let's shift to the other side of the ball, the defense. And here's where things get spicy. Vic Fangio is back, and expectations are sky-high. But let's be real, there's work to be done. The Eagles lost more than 4,000 defensive snaps this offseason. That's massive. Darius Slay is now with the Steelers. Milton Williams took a deal with the Patriots. C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Gone to Houston. Josh Sweat's in Arizona. Avonte Maddox joined the Lions. Bryce Huff was traded. Brandon Graham, a true Philly legend, retired. It's a long list of major contributors, and those are hard shoes to fill. But don't panic, because here's what you need to know. There's a belief brewing inside the locker room that this defense is already ahead of schedule. Zach Baum recently appeared on the Exciting Mike's podcast and said something that caught my attention. That was all of our first year in this scheme. What are we going to do next year? The tone? Confident. The message? This group believes they're about to level up. And they have a point. After that Week 5 bye, the Eagles' defense absolutely turned it on. Number 1 in points allowed per game. Number 1 in yards allowed. Top 10 across nearly every major defensive stat. That kind of dominance, especially in the playoffs, was a driving force behind their Super Bowl 59 win. With year 2 under Fangio coming up, the returning core, Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean, Nakobe Dean, and more are expected to play faster, smarter, and with way more confidence. This is how you stay competitive in the NFL. Leadership from your QB, depth on both sides, and a coaching staff that knows how to maximize talent. If this group of defenders can adapt quickly, fill those empty snaps, and maintain the intensity that took them to a championship, Philadelphia could be looking at a serious repeat bid. And to top it all off, Pro Football Focus just ranked A.J. Brown as the #1 wide receiver in the NFL. Think about that. Ahead of Justin Jefferson, ahead of Jamar Chase. PFF isn't throwing out hype for clicks, they're backing it with metrics. Brown posted a league-best 96.6 receiving grade against single coverage in 2024. For 3 straight years, he's led the league in that category. He missed time last season and still racked up over 1,000 yards. He's been nothing short of a monster since arriving in Philly, and his style? Think modern-day Julio Jones. Physical, fast, dominant. Even with Saquon Barkley surpassing 2,000 rushing yards in 2024, the offense never skipped a beat through the air. That balance is what separates contenders from pretenders. And when you've got an elite receiver like A.J. Brown dominating DBs, it opens up everything else for Hurts and company. So the big question I've got for all of you is this, and think hard before you answer. Will the Eagles' defense overcome the loss of over 4,000 snaps and take another step forward in 2025? Or are we looking at a group that might take a step back? Let me know in the comments. Are we about to witness the rise of another dominant Eagles defense? Or are these roster departures too much to overcome? Part 2 is coming up next. Now, when we talk about the challenge of replacing over 4,000 defensive snaps, let's not underestimate what that really means. We're not just talking about bodies. We're talking about leadership, experience, communication, guys who understood the weight of the Eagles jersey and delivered when it mattered most. But here's where it gets interesting. The replacements aren't just rookies or back-end depth pieces. These are players who've been waiting for their shot. And now, under Vic Fangio in his second year, they're being plugged into a system that they know better, that they trust more, and that they can execute with greater speed. Let's talk personnel. Zach Bond isn't just talking a big game. He's going to have a big role to play. This is a player who's hungry and ready. Reed Blankenship, he's coming off a year where he showed serious range and toughness. Nakobe Dean, if healthy, could blossom into a true centerpiece linebacker. And don't forget about young studs like Khalil Ringo and Cooper DeJean. These guys might not have had huge roles last season, but the talent is there. Fangio's schemes are complex, but they're also built to allow instinctive players to shine, and that's what the Eagles are banking on. The other key here is the coaching staff. Fangio isn't just a defensive coordinator. He's a defensive architect. His schemes don't rely on one superstar. They rely on discipline, positioning, and situational excellence. If you give him guys who understand their assignments and can communicate on the back end, he'll cook up a top 5 defense again, even with half the snaps gone. And let's not forget, this is a team that's been through the fire. These players aren't walking into 2025 wide-eyed. They're coming in as champions, with expectations, with hunger, and with a blueprint that just won them a Lombardi. Now let's switch gears one more time, because while the defense reloads, the offense is quietly preparing to explode. We already talked about A.J. Brown